Good morning, scholars. Happy Monday. Today for math, we're going to do some different exercises to figure out the parts, the whole, and even how to say it the 10 way. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, scholars, I want you to grab your scratch piece of paper and your pencil and meet me back for our activity. All right, scholars, now that you guys have your scratch piece of paper and your pencil, let's go ahead and get started. So I created on my screen 2 rows, and in my 2 rows, we're going to break up a total number in 2 parts, and then we're going to see what those 2 parts then equal, and what they equal, we call that our whole. And then from there, we're going to continue practicing how to say the 10 way. Remember, when it comes to the 10 way, if it's 13, then you have 10 and 3 because you have 1 10 and you have 3 ones left over. So 13 is 10, 3. Remember, because you have 1 10 and 3 ones left over. All right, scholars, let's go ahead and on your scratch piece of paper, in your first row, I want you to draw 10 circles. And then in your second row, I want you to draw 7 circles. So let's go ahead and do that together since this is something new that we're doing. I'm going to make sure my marker is nice and big. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now my second row, I'm going to do 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, looking at my 2 rows, I see that my 2 parts are 10 and 7. And I know that because in the first row, I have 10 dots, and in the second row, I have 7. And these 2 rows represent my 2 parts. Now, looking at my whole, I can go ahead and count and see that I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So my whole represents both rows together. It represents all the circles that we drew. And in this case, our whole is 17. Now, let's go ahead and say 17 the 10 way. Go ahead and share out loud 17 the 10 way. I know that the 10 way when saying 17 is 10, 7. And I know that because I have 10 here and 7 more. So I have one group of 10 and then I have 7 more, which makes our 10 way for 17, 10, 7. All right, scholars, I am going to erase those. And on your scratch piece of paper, let's go ahead and draw 10 circles on the first row and 9 circles on the second row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I drew 10 circles in my first row, and now I'm drawing 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, scholars. Now looking at my 2 rows, what do you think our 2 parts are? Go ahead and share out loud what you think our 2 parts are. Yeah, if you said your 2 parts are 10 and 9, you are correct. We know this because in our first row, which represents our first part, there's 10 circles. And in our second row, which represents our second part, there's 9 circles. Now, what is the whole? Go ahead and share out loud what the whole is. Now remember, the whole is all of the circles together. That is 19. Now you can get 19 a few different strategies that we've learned this module. You can count from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, or you can use the hide 0, which if I were to take this 9 and cover my 0 with it, I would see that my whole is 19. All right, scholars, what do you think 19 the 10 way is? Go ahead and share out loud what 19 the 10 way is. If you said 10, 9, you are correct. 10, 9 because you have one group of 10 and 9 left over. All right, scholars, let's go ahead and do one more. Let's go ahead and do 10 dots or circles in the first row and 10 circles in the second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, on your scratch piece of paper, go ahead and pause the video and write the parts and the whole right now on your scratch piece of paper. So write the 2 parts and then what the whole is. All right, scholars, now that you guys wrote your 2 parts and your whole, go ahead and check your work. So our 2 parts are 10, 10, and our whole is 20. And I remember 20 because I was thinking back to the Rec and Rec, and I know that on the first row there were 10 beads, and on the second row there were 10 beads, and that equaled 20. So I know quickly in my brain that 10 plus 10 equals 20. Now, what is 10, or what is the 10 way for 20? How do you say 20 the 10 way? Go ahead and share out loud right now. If you said it was 210, you're correct. Remember, we have two groups of 10. So you want to say 2, 10, and then you wouldn't say anything after the 10 because there's no ones left over. All right, scholars, it is time for our exit ticket. So go ahead and go to Google Classroom, complete the exit ticket on your own, and then come back and check your work to make sure that you guys got it right. All right, scholars, now that you guys did this on Google Classroom, it is time to check your work. So I know that this is just another way to write our number sentence 10 plus 10. And I know that when adding this way, I'm going to make, you want to go these 2 numbers and add them together. So I know that if I have 0 and I add 0 more, I am left with the number 0. And then you want to go to this row right here and add these 2 numbers together. So I know if I have 1 and I add 1 more, I have 2. So my answer is 20. 20. All right, scholars, great job today. Keep practicing those flashcards. I miss you so much. Hope you're staying healthy and safe, and I will see you tomorrow for another math lesson. Have a wonderful Monday. Miss you.